Okay, real quick, I wanted to bring the word sacrifice and shine a whole nother light on it, right? You know how usually when we talk about sacrifice, we think about the blood, sweat, and tears, right? We never look at sacrifice as a good thing, but we look at the result of the sacrifice to be good. Whether it's you sacrificing your time or yourself for something that you want or need, right? But let's look at it in a totally different way because the way that we should be looking at sacrifice is in a good light. Like the fact that the greatest sacrifice of them all came from Jesus Christ himself when he came to die for us, right? He was the sacrificial lamb, right? So when we say blood, sweat, and tears, if we can look at the blood as going through something painful, but it's meaningful, because at the end of the day, Jesus lost a lot of blood just for us. Like he literally paid for our sins and blood, right? But then when we look at tears, we can look at his tears as a praise because he praised the Lord for even allowing him, although it was hard for him to go through this process of sacrificing himself. He knew what the job was. He came and he did exactly what he was supposed to do in understanding the assignment. So them tears was going back to the Lord as a praise, like, yes, I'm bowing in reverence to you because you sent me here and I'm completing this task, right? But then when it came down to his sweat, not only did his sweat come down in the form of blood because he was sweating profusively, I'm talking about literally sweat and blood, the mixture of two, because he's going through so much. And I say, like, when we be going through these processes of things, yes, we're going to sweat a little bit because the process is not supposed to keep us upright. It's not supposed to allow us to just go through it without learning something, without feeling something. You felt that sweat dripping down your face when you sacrifice something, right? So thinking of it like, okay, well, the blood is going to make me stronger because I'm in pain. So in order for me to, become or go through pain, I have to break down some stuff. It's going to hurt a little bit, but I'm bleeding and I'm going to keep going. When them tears start to fall, God dang, I'm mad I'm going through it in a way, but I'm also thankful that I get to go through it, right? So my tears is just the act of worship, the act of praise as I'm going through this thing. And then my sweat, oh man, I could wipe that off my forehead if I want to, but it shows that I'm active, that I'm actually getting to whatever it is I need to get to. It's showing the action of it all, right? So when we go through these processes and we're looking at sacrifices, blood, sweat, and tears, oh, I had to get it out the mud. Oh man, it took me a lot. Think about how much more it cost the Father, or it made the Father feel to actually send his son into this world, this terrible world, because we are filthy rags, because we don't listen, because we are living in our flesh, because we sin, because we just don't have an attitude that makes us bow in reverence before God, right? But he literally gave his son so that we would be, or we would have an opportunity at having a life lived out. Regardless of how we live this life, he literally shed his blood so that we can come back and be covered by the blood, right? So it baffles me because we look at sacrifices if it's not a good thing. Sacrifice came from the Lord himself. Sacrifice came through Jesus himself. Sacrifice was put here. It's almost like if you don't sacrifice, you're not getting closer to God. When it becomes a thing where you can look at a sacrifice that you've had to make or Christ has made you go through, like he forced you through, you would look at it more like, dag, I'm closer to the Father than I thought because we're able to share the same pains. We might not be going through the exact same things, but I could at least say, you know what? God did this before. So I know I can do it. The same way that he look at all of the situations that you done been in. He knows that he done lived a life and he might not have sinned, but he know what it is like to be human and to be tested, right? He know what it's like to be human and to go through things. So I just want y'all to think of the sacrifices that y'all are making and y'all are going through as a good thing. Allow that time that you're going through these things to bring you closer to the Father because he's the one who came and saved us all through his sacrifice. So I just want y'all to just be blessed behind that. That's it.